You read the title right. I learned Blender in under 30 days. And the reason I'm learning Blender is because I want to start making my own professional games in Rec Room. And in order to do that, I need to make my own 3D models. And to make 3D models, you need a 3D modeling software. And two of the best 3D modeling softwares are Blender and Maya. But Maya costs $500 a year, so I can't afford that. So we're going with Blender. Another thing I like to say is, I officially have my own creator code in Rec Room now. If you want to support me, make sure to use code EPIC inside the Rec Room shop, or to click on my profile and click the support button. If you need a link to my profile, it'll be in the description of this video. Alright, now that I'm done promoting myself, onto the video. I spent most of day one just watching tutorials and messing with the settings.
Now we know how Blender functions, let's start building that donut. So, as before, let's For me, I'm really enjoying this.
But I was able to make this really cool water bottle. I also figured out how models are generated. Here's an oversimplified example on how it generates the 3D models. Every 3D model is made up of polygons. So for example, this cube is made up of 6 squares, and each of those 2D squares is made up of edges or sides. So this square right here has 4 sides, and each of those sides are made up of vertices, which is just a coordinate. So to generate a cube, all it does is it remembers the coordinates of all the vertices, then it remembers how they connect. So for example, these two connect to each other, these two connect to each other. Then after it generates all the edges, it just generates the faces within them. Like this. And boom, now we have our cube. So just to clarify, 3D models are made up of polygons, polygons are made up of sides, and those sides are made up of vertices. There's layers.
Layers!
On days 2 and 3, I added water droplets to my water bottle, and I tried to make a background. On day 4, I found something really cool. You can use a program called Asset Studio to view all the models in Rec Room, like the clothes, eyes, mouth, hands, head. It's awesome. Huge shout out to Tame VR for the tutorial on YouTube. After finding out about this, I decided that I have 3 goals for this video. Number 1, create a basic model. Number 2, create a basic texture. And number 3, create a basic animation. For the model, I decided to try to recreate the rec center, but one of the hardest parts was making the floor texture. It took me 3 days just to make a floor texture. And it didn't even look that good. Now, for most of these days, I was just building the rec center. So I'm gonna start going in order on what I started building. On day 9, I started working on the rec center mats and the desk that goes inside the rec center. Day 10, I made part of the walls that go behind the desk in the rec center. Day 11, I made the rec center message board and put something a little sussy on it.
Burn.
Day 12, I made the rec center basketball hoop and I added stripes to the walls. On day 13, I made a plant pot and I also made the curtains. On day 14, I used the curve tool to make more of the wall and a window. And I used an add-on to make a poster. On day 15, I imported a bush mesh. It broke, and then I figured out how to fix it. And finally, I made the clothing display board. Now, from days 17 to 27, I didn't actually use Blender at all. And it was for a multitude of reasons. Number 1, I had gotten a little sick.
Can you say snow?
Number 2, my friends and cousins came over for a few days, and they didn't want to spend the entire time on Blender. It's kind of rude. And number 3, I hadn't posted a YouTube short in over a month. On day 27, I finally returned. I learned the basics of lighting and I added a world texture, or the sky. On the final day of this video, I realized I didn't have enough time to create a smooth or clear animation, so I just imported some other models that I got from the Asset Studio I used earlier to use to make some rendered images with. After texturing the character for a little bit, I kind of realized it looked better with no texture. And here are the final rendered images. I just want to say before I end the video that I am sorry that this video is a lot shorter than normal. There wasn't really anything that eventful while recording this Blender video, and even though I didn't accomplish all of my goals, I am still very proud of the models I made. But I do plan on making more videos in the future. I want to get on that grind and I want to start making videos monthly. So look out for that. See y'all later.